The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
As a small biz pro, so we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, so we grow, using procurement, program, and control. Yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah.
And good afternoon and welcome to the Business Zone. I am Crystal Mitchell and I am holding it down today. Mr. Gilbert Buchanan is out with a client this afternoon. He may be in a little bit later on. And my other guest co-host, Miss Dawn Stroyer, she is speaking tomorrow. So she's getting all dialed up for that. And getting ready for that. So today you guys have me. Welcome to the Business Zone. It is April 4th. Wow, 5th. It's April 5th. We're full week to April. We got about 10 days, maybe 5 days, 7 days actually before taxes are due. So I hope you guys are out there taking care of your financial stuff. They are due on April 17th this year. So take care of that. Wow, we have no guest today, so it's just me as well. We're going to talk about some things that took place this week that's pretty solemn. The passing of Nipsey Hussle, who was a business owner, entrepreneur, musician. He also was an incredible entrepreneur, which kind of feeds right on into what we do here at the Business Zone, helping businesses grow, becoming bank loan ready, business ready, and contract ready. And this young man had it going on. The more I've heard this week about the things that he's been doing in our community, I did know about some of the things that he was doing as a community advocate myself. Putting that time in, you tend to know who else is out there doing the same thing. But I was just so impressed this week about all of the things that this young brother was doing, committed to his community and wanting to make it better, wanting to be here because he really didn't have to be here. He had made enough money in his career where he actually could have been like everybody else, packed up, moved away, moved to Calabasas, Orange County, wherever they tend to go. But he chose to live right here in the community. He chose to purchase property here in the community. He spoke at schools to kids, teaching them how to be better people and to grow up into better adults, not making the same mistakes he did in his early days. He I think I even heard he painted the basketball court at a school on 59th, I believe it was. He was doing something with Marcus Garvey School. He was investing in helping them renovate that. This young man, I just take my hat off to him. He will stand among all the other individuals that have been in this community that have given their heart and their soul to helping make this a better place for us. One of those is the founder of Recycling Black Dollars, Muhammad Nazardine. And it had some of the very similar feel to that when Muhammad died. We were all in deep mourning because, again, our community had lost a really great leader. I felt the same way when I heard about Nipsey. I couldn't believe it, as many couldn't believe it, because his persona had preceded him. Even if you had not met him, you still and had heard of what he had been doing, you still felt that love for his community. So we want to really give him our honor and he's resting in peace. And I hope from this that there will be some changes in our community, because we can't have one leader. We can't, because when we have only one leader and that one leader leaves either on his own vocation or because exterior vocations such as his, we're kind of left with a major void. So there's been a lot of outreach and challenges to everyone in our community to step up and to commit to helping to make this a better place. He some of his philosophies, when I've read some things that he has done, and his 7-point principle, which is very similar to the Jewish phenomenon, which is also, they have a 7-point principle, and as well as the Asians. And so I'm so impressed that a young man, 33 years old, was thinking in this way, because there's some of my peers that don't even think this way. And I saw a video earlier this week with him, and he was 14 years old, and they were interviewing him, and he was talking about reinvesting in his community, that he didn't need all the bling. That money he could use to buy property and diversify his assets. And this was a 14-year-old child. And so that's just absolutely amazing. But I do want to share with you, and it kind of feeds right into what we were going to talk about on the show, but now it will be me talking about it. You guys all know that my purpose in the community and the things that I do is to help our people rise up above where we are. I in my heart, I know that some of the reasons that what happened, the young man that killed him out of the jealousy and envy, is because we here in our community live in a place of lack all the time. And we don't know how to get out of that. There's so much negativity around us and so many things. Every time you think you've taken 5 steps forward, then you have to end up taking 10 steps back. And that's because we're always living right at the edge of survival. We're not thriving. We're not thriving. We're surviving. And we have to get to a place where we're actually thriving. And that's not going to just be one person helping us do that. That's going to require all of us stepping in there, jumping into the trenches, wherever your talents are, whatever your passions are, really taking it to the next level. And if there's anything that his legacy and his death would have taught us, is that we need to rise up. We have to come out of our comfort zones, and we have to give of ourselves to make our community better. No one else is going to do that for us. And so, Nipsey, rest in peace. And I hope from above that you are looking down and helping our young kids, our young brothers and sisters, guiding them in a way. And I think you've left a legacy from what I'm listening to and hearing on YouTube and Facebook and reading. You touched a lot of people. And so I take my hat off to you, my brother. We are sorry to see you gone. But hopefully everything that you stood for will live on. I know that I'm in the position that I am with Recycling Black Dollars because I believed in everything Muhammad Nazardine believed in. In fact, this month in April is it's Black Business Month. And in 1996, Muhammad Nazardine had declared this month to be the month that we support each other and support our businesses and support our efforts and support our value. And so I stand in that every single day. I collaborate with other people in our community to make sure that we're making that a better place. But before we go to break, I do want to share Nipsey's 7 money and ownership lessons, and they're going to really tie in to the topics that I'm going to speak on today. So number 1 is he called it on Hustlenomics. He learned all the secrets to the game on your way up. Most people want to skip the process. When you skip steps, you miss the lessons. So this is something when we're starting a business, we want to go from the beginning to the CEO. There's a process, and you really cannot jump past the process. You can't start a business if the foundation is not solid. If you've not licensed the business, you haven't structured the business, you haven't done a business plan, you have no idea how you're going to make the money, and then how you're going to continue to grow the business. So I believe that's what he was saying to you, that map it out, see it, feel it, believe it. And that way, when things happen, you can adjust to those things happening. You can pivot to those things. But if you just kind of start straight into making the money, only selling one product or focusing on one product, not branding the product, not marketing the product, then you're missing a lot of steps, because there's a structure, and you have to follow that structure for it to be successful. The next one is, these are his words, not mine, on turn up versus own up. It isn't cool to be in a club spending all of this money or having cars and jewelry, but you don't own any real estate, a fourplex. If your answer is no, you're not a real hustler. So what he's saying is what we all have said, all of us that are out here, business coaches, community-based organizations, our community activists, is you have to own where you live. You have to own where you do business, because then you have say-so in what is happening in your community. We have talked about this so much on this show. What has gone on Crenshaw has had to do with the many businesses that we lost, is because we didn't own the property. We were just renting, basically just squatting. And when someone came along and said, no, I want the buildings back, or I want to raise your rent, you have absolutely no say so and that's the trajectory of your life. Somebody else is telling you how to move, how to eat, how to sleep. This is amazing advice for a young man, 33 years old. I believe I heard that it took he and his brother 16 years in order to own that property on Crenshaw and Slauson. But he had a goal, and he followed the steps in order to get to the end result. And the end result was owning his own building. And so wow. 3 is entrepreneurship. We can't change your economic status if you do not control how you make your money. If you're working for someone else, they can always lay you off. They can always, the business can close down. They can fire you. Anything can happen. And again, leaving your life in jeopardy based upon somebody else's whims or needs or desires. So entrepreneurship helps you acquire your own freedom, your own independence. You have ownership in something that's yours. You can dictate whether or not you're going to, how you're going to make your money. If you don't work, you don't make any money. But that's your control, and you make those decisions. So excellent advice on number 3. Number 4, Black capital. So we're always, and it's very difficult for Black businesses to acquire capital. There's a saying that in this country and in white America, they will allow you to have hundreds of thousands of dollars and be in debt for your mortgage, for your home, for your car, for school loans, but they won't allow you to. They will not approve business capital loans. I mean, even as low as $5,000 and $10,000. So, which is absolutely amazing, because usually when you have collateral for your house, obviously, and you have a collateral for your car, there is no collateral really for a school loan. There's nothing that they can take from you. I think they do maybe restrict your driver's license and so forth of that nature, but nothing like repossessing your car. But if you have a business, you always have your collateral in your assets that you own in your business. And so the excuse is you don't have any collateral, and that's not true. Depending on the type of business you have, you may have hundreds of thousands of dollars of inventory, which is therefore collateral. You may have intellectual property that you've copywritten a trademark, again, collateral. So you get all kinds of excuses. So one of the things is build models. One of his, his cliches with build models. Business models are built around our cultural currency. They develop the platform, implement structure, and bring us in to raise value. So we can take care of our own capital. We can reinvest in our own businesses. Years ago, and you've all heard of Black Wall Street. They didn't require capital to build their businesses. They did it out of their own pockets. They collaborated and worked with one another. They helped each other build their businesses. So we can do this. We just have to break those chains to prevent us from being dependent and dependent on someone else. We need to be independent. We need to coexist with one another, and we need to support one another. If you're, and this month I did an article, I wrote a blog on supporting Black businesses. And it really, truly, if we spend $1.3 trillion in consumer dollars buying everything under the sun, but we do not own the chain supplies. If we go to get our hair done, we're buying from another ethnicity. They have the distribution. They have the product. They bring the product in. They charge you whatever they want. And if they don't want you in their stores, they follow you around. They threaten you. They do all kinds of things. But we spend $54.6 million of a total of $64 million in the hair industry. We spend 85% of that. Our consumer dollars make up 85% of that. That's ridiculous that we don't own that marketplace. And there are a number of other industries that we spend astronomical amount of money in, but we don't own anything. And so we have to change that. So his number 5 was breaking the chains, own the supply chain, from production to consumption. People take shots at Jay-Z, but he's the first Black artist to have a virtual integrated business model where he owns the whole chain. So another leader in our community, or not in our community, but another Black leader, his name is Dr. Claude Anderson. He talks about that, having a vertical business, owning everything from the bottom to the top. And we can do that. And we wouldn't have the issues. We would not be living in lack if we did have that. So taking heed for this young man's life so it won't be in vain. We cannot, after all 400 years of surviving slavery and all the Jim Crow and all the other things that went along with it and still go along with it, we have to wake up. We have to right now take control of how we live, dictate how we want to live, and make a better place for ourselves in this world. We have to. We're at a very critical time in history where we're so far on the bottom that is ridiculous. There's some stats out that says it will take us 249 years in order to close the wealth gap between the Black and the white. That shouldn't be the case if we're spending $1.3 trillion in consumer dollars. Just shouldn't be the case. I don't know if you guys agree with me or not, but that should not be the case. The next thing is creating value. So Nipsey, I think this was phenomenal. And obviously it worked because the man has amassed a pretty significant net worth. He released 100 mixtapes and charged $1,000 for each, because he understood the economic principle of scarcity. The profit funded by his independent label. So again, he owned his whole chain. So in my world, what we call that is, there's a word we use for it, and I got to think of it, what it is, it'll come to me. But in order to understand what you need to sell before you sell it. Funnels, we call it funneling. So you are identifying how much of your product or your services or the number of people you need to reach in order to reach a dollar goal. So if I say I want to make $250,000 this year, I have to break that down in how many services, what products do I need to sell, and at what volume do I need to sell in order to reach that goal. So it's not something you should be guessing at. It should be something that you've actually mapped out. You have actually projected out and forecasted out. This is what I need to do. And every month or every week, this is what I need to be selling. This is every month. This is where I should be. This is the target I should be meeting. And then when you reach your milestones, then you start all over again and you keep moving forward until you actually acquire whatever that end goal is. So this young man, now I've been doing this stuff for 30 years, and here is someone that has been doing it probably, he's 33, he probably, by the time he was 17, 18, 19, I think he started really when he was 18 and 19. So that's a very short window for this young man to grasp what some of us who have been in business for a majority of our lives have not grasped. Because if we did, we wouldn't be living in a place of lack. And the final 7 point is owning your own real estate. He owned the block where he used to hustle from 8 a.m. to 10. He hustled, then he rented, and now he owned. And so that says a lot for that young man. I mean, if you're going to be in a business where you're hustling, at least let it pay off for you. At least have a plan, an exit strategy, because I get it. Living in our community is not easy. Our families don't always work. There has to come, money got to come from somewhere, because you have to rent where you live. You have to eat. You have to pay utilities and phone bills, and that stuff just doesn't happen in thin air. And so I get sometimes the hustle has to happen, but there has to be an end goal for the hustle. You can't be so committed to the hustle that this becomes your status for the rest of your lives, because when that happens, then that same thing is going to happen to your children and your family. And then there's so many other repercussions that come along with that. So this young man, he thought like a very mature business person that had been educated and had an MBA and gone to some of the top schools in the country, because this is the stuff. So I don't know who his mentor was, but his mentor did a phenomenal job with helping him understand. And again, his life cut so short, so early on. Just imagine if he had had another 10, 15 years, 25, 30 years, where this young man would have been and where our community would have been. So he will be greatly missed. And so we're going to take a quick break, and then I'll come back and we'll begin the show.
Small businesses spend more than $500 million each year combined trying to find missing or replace missing paperwork. Hey, small businesses, are you tired of losing out on business opportunities because your paperwork is not in order? And don't you hate having to register in multiple websites just to find a single procurement opportunity that may not even be worth your time? Well, worry no more. Small Biz Pro is the solution to your problems. Small Biz Pro is an all-in-one cloud-based business management, compliance, and procurement assistance software platform that keeps small businesses organized, contract-ready, bank loan-ready, with quick access to procurement opportunities, as well as market research data. Here are some of the features and benefits that you receive when you use Small Biz Pro to run your business daily. Superior record keeping at your fingertips, back office management and compliance, quick access to bids and procurement opportunities in government databases. It allows you to conduct easy market research and gather industry statistics. Government certification preparedness and compliance checklists. Easy HR and general operations management functionality. Bank loan readiness preparation and cash flow management. Certified payroll and labor compliance reporting. Business dictionary with defined business terms. A cloud-based business management platform that keeps small businesses organized and ready. even nonprofits. Business documents securely stored in the cloud. Data fully encrypted and protected by triple firewall reinforcements. On-the-spot document retrieval for quick decision-making. Bank-level data security for compliance. Document expiration alerts and advanced notifications. It uses security restrictions to block out unauthorized users, and much more. Try it out today for only $5 for the first 30 days. What are you waiting for? Go to www.smallbizpro.net and register now, or your competitors will. Small Biz Pro, keeping small businesses organized, business ready, and contract ready.
Just wanted to send some words of encouragement. Y'all stay focused. Y'all keep working hard. Believe in yourself. Prove everybody that doubts y'all wrong. Show up every day. Stay pure. Keep your heart pure. Stay motivated. Stay inspired. Show love to your people. From there.
And hi, and we'll welcome back to the Business Zone with Christo, Gilbert, and Don. And today is just Christo. So welcome back. So guess what, guys? You know, Recycling Black Dollars has a signature product. Hey, Linda, how are you? A signature book that we've been producing for the last, I want to say 14 years actually, called the Recycling Black Dollars Black Business Resource Guide. So today, hot off the press for those to see here, we just got it published. If you are interested in making sure that you are supporting other businesses, this is one of the guides that is definitely out there for you. It has probably over, probably some 1,200 businesses in it right here in Los Angeles. We're very proud of our cover. Every year our cover has something very profound on it. Last year we were honoring those in our community that had gone on, Muhammad and Hal Hambrick and Marva Smith Battle Bay, that was the CEO of Vermont Slauson, and Brenda Marsh Mitchell, who was over at the Sentinel. This year, we are so proud, and I'm glad that my partner, her name is Jackie B., I am so happy that she made the decision, because unbeknownst to us that this young man would not be here, to put on the cover the Saluting RBD's Young Lions and Lioness. So these are the young people, young entrepreneurs that are coming up that are making some major power moves. One of them is Kareem Webb. He is the owner of Buffalo Wild Wings in Baldwin Hills. I think his family, they own a number of McDonald's. The management company is called PCF Restaurant Management. So Kareem Webb is one of the young men that we're saluting for just having an amazing and outstanding business, and his family for creating a legacy in our community. And so again, I hope you guys are supporting Buffalo Wild Wings over in Baldwin Hills Plaza. The other one is, and again, little did we know, Nipsey Hussle, she had made the decision to put him on the cover of our book. So he will live on at least for the forever, to perpetuity, because our books last perpetuity. So he is there. And then we have a young lady, Ashley Lamonte. She is the owner and operator of Chick-fil-A. And then last but not least is Kia Patterson, and she is the independent owner of the Compton Grocery Outlet. So you guys support them. Look, if you're interested in the book, reach out to us. We can reserve your copy. We have our breakfast mixer on Tuesday at Denny's at 8:00 a.m., which is Tuesday, April 9th. You can come out. You can pick up your book there. It's $7. It will also be online on our website. And we're really excited this year the contents of the book is actually going to be placed in a mobile app, so you will have it at your fingertips as well. So again, take a look. It's the Recycling Black Dollars Black Business Guide, and it's the guide that will provide you with all of the businesses in the community that you may want to shop at, and you should really take a look, because we really need to step up our game on that to recycle our dollars, as well as resources. Who are the community-based organizations and where you can find them, information on all our meetings for the rest of the year, how you can become a member of Recycling Black Dollars. We have the Urban Leagues information in there. We have Black Business Association, Operation Hope, California Black Chamber of Commerce, Vermont Slauson, Consolidated Board of Realtors. So if you're looking for resources for our community, here you go. So let us know. You can reach out to me at on RBD's Facebook page if you're interested in acquiring a copy, and you also can email us at me at cmitchell544 at cmitchell at rbdmedia.org. Okay, guys. So today, and it's very apropos that this was a topic that I was choosing for today. I'm always, when we don't have guests, then we use this time for educating our viewers and in our community. So one of the things I wanted to talk about was accelerating small business startup and growth. Hey, William, how are you today? Business planning. And this is so interesting because the 7 points that I just read to you, that was Nipsey's philosophies for business life, is really, truly how we in the business world, when we sit down to coach you or talk to you about your business, these are the same steps that we speak of when we're talking about building a business model, a workable, successful business model. So those are some of the things that I want to talk to you about. The first step, and I think he indicated on his 7-point plan, was that you had to go through the steps. You couldn't skip the steps. You couldn't skip the lessons. So what does that mean to most people? A lot of people tell me, well, I don't really need a business plan. It's all in my head, and I kind of know what I want to do. And that's probably true until you hit a rough spot, until there's a downturn in the economy, or your customers are no longer buying your product, and you don't have another product to put in place with it. Hey, Mike. Also, what is true is that the lack of a business plan doesn't give you any focus. It doesn't tell you how to get from point A to B in the event that there's so many other distractions taking place, and how to keep your business on par. And that's a serious thing for a lot of businesses. The other part of not having a business plan is knowing what your value propositions are. What exactly is the core value of your business? Why are you in business? How do you deliver your message to your audience? What are your activities, and how do you deliver in those activities? How do you create your customer relations? How do you create your revenue streams if you haven't mapped that out prior to starting your business? And I know it's time consuming and it seems like it's a waste of time, but trust me, I've been in business for 30 years and I know who my clients are. I pretty much know my industry. Not pretty much. I do know my industry, and I know when it's about to change, and I know when I need to change, when I need to pivot in order to continue on business, so there's no gap in resources for me. I also know one of the other things that happens when you plan on your business and you plan your business out, you understand and you identify your key resources. What do you need in order to execute your business, to who do you need? Who are your partners? Because we don't operate in this world alone. And so sometimes we need to have people that motivate us to the next step, or drive, some passion, some purpose to get you over the hump when you happen to hit a blockade. And it will happen. That's normal for business. Hi, Maxine. So that's what a plan does for you. It also helps you know to identify who your target markets are, your demographics, and it helps you can establish what type of relationship you want with them, whether it's a hands-on or more internet-based, which is a little more hands-off. But you could have it hands-on if you're communicating with them on a regular basis, and they have accessibility to you. If I was to say there was a downside to operating an online business, is the lack of community exchange. I mean, not community, customer exchanges. Usually they don't even have phone numbers. Usually all of your transactions is done via email. And sometimes that's difficult. Sometimes you need to have a conversation with a person so you could express or to articulate certain things that you need that you may not, that may not come across that way when you actually put it in an email. So that's my biggest, I guess, downside of doing a business strictly online, is that I need to have people. I need to have touchy-feely with the people. I need to hear their voices. I need to hear their emotions and their expressions. And sometimes I know you cannot get that online. And you need to do that when you have a personal relationship. And then the next thing is your distribution channels. How are you going to reach your audience? Whether that's online, whether that's through print media, whether that's through actual personal live exchanges with individuals, going to networking events, or having live workshops or classes. If you're in my business, a service-based business, or you're in a brick and mortar, and you actually get the touchy-feely of your clients, and then understanding that who's your most important audience. So those are the things that you usually outline or lay out in a business plan. So that's really what Nipsey was talking about when he says you can't skip the steps. You can't start from A and jump over to Z, because all of that in between is very important. And at some point in time in the lifespan of your business, you're going to recognize that, and you'll need to do something about that. Hey, Sharon. Hey, Linda. Thank you. Cost structures, knowing how much your product or services should cost, what the market will allow, and whether or not your clients will pay it, whether they'll see the value of it. Here's what I do know. If you have excellent customer service and you stand by your products or your services, that people will pay what they feel it is valuable to them. So if they're getting something out of it, and they let you know that through various testimonies or comments on your websites or emails to you, that helps you in structuring your costs so that, one, you can continue to produce the product or the service, and you're not feeling undervalued in the process. So that's another thing that happens, is part of that structure. That's an important part of the structure. And then finally, how are you making your money? I can't tell you how many people that I have coached over the years, and when I ask them how they're going to make their money, it's very abstract. They don't have a specific formula. Like Nipsey had a formula. He was selling 100 videos at $1,000 so that he could make $100,000. Hey, Alexander, how are you? So that's a formula. Again, that's creating those funnels and knowing exactly how much you're going to make in order to reach your final goal. And those are things that are very, very important. I think the other thing, let's see, and what I'm doing is comparing his list to mine, and it's kind of interesting how well it parallels one another. So, entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship really changes how your community functions. Entrepreneurship creates wealth streams. It creates jobs. It creates a sense of well-being for you, and as well as for your your customers, or could for your customers. I recently wrote, and let me see if I can find it. I wrote a article, and I wrote a blog this week on that April is Black Business Month, and so let me see if I can find it. Here it is. It's online. And I'm going to read you some of the stats that was in this blog. So, again, as I mentioned, in 1996, a coalition of Black business organizations and companies owned by African Americans here in Los Angeles declared April to be Black Business Month. Two of those individuals was Muhammad Nazardine, who was the co-founder of Recycling Black Dollars, and as well as Hal Hambrick, who eventually he did the Black Expo. And both were these gentlemen, and there were a number of other organizations as well. The BBA, I believe, was involved, and some others. But they declared that in April, they urged consumers to spend money at businesses owned by Blacks. The founder of Recycling Black Dollars, Muhammad Nazardine, he put a call out to all Black consumers to spend money at Black businesses owned by Black businesses for the entire month of April. So the reason he did that was because research had found in America that 2.6 million there were 2.6 million Black-owned businesses, and nationwide, African Americans spent in the excess of $1.2 trillion. And I said that earlier. The organization found that if the annual income of Black America was recycled twice within Black households, those minority consumers could literally spurge past $2 trillion annually. That's just taking our monies and putting them back into our community. One of the things that Muhammad believed, and I believe to this day, and we actually see it. Muhammad died 13 years ago, and he started this organization 30 years ago, and not too much has changed, unfortunately. But what we believed is that Black consumers who neglect patronizing our establishments may unwittingly help sabotage the economic power base within our own communities. The research revealed that African Americans spent more on consumer goods than any ethnic group. In this finding, hey Felice, they attest that among the reasons why non-Black ethnic groups have business success in the community is because we spend so much money. You can come from outside of our community and become a very wealthy man or woman. But while the people that are keep helping them become wealthy, we're living on some margins that are just they're non-existent. So it makes no sense. It really makes no sense for us to continue to make people wealthy and then we're barely surviving. So here's some other interesting, and I'm sure you guys have heard this before. And if you've been to an RBD meeting, you definitely have heard it. And if you've heard me speak, you definitely have heard it. That the lifespan of $1 in the Asian community is 28 days. In the Jewish community, lifespan of $1 is 19 days. And the lifespan in the African American community is approximately 6 hours. And to me, that means we deposit our monies into a white bank, and then we spend our monies in white supermarkets, white drugstores, or Asian stores, or department stores, basically any place other than our own. And so we are making them rich. So a study was conducted by the Kellogg School of Management and proved that if less than 3% of our $1 trillion in buying power made it back into our communities, the spending with our own Black companies and mainstream firms that we engage with, we could literally create 1 million jobs and totally change how our community functions every single day. So that's what he meant by ownership. I think he also meant by black capital. So again, those things all fall into place with things that we are already saying. We've been saying it. Every time I have a workshop or a class, I am actually telling individuals and showing individuals how to create businesses that we want to shop at. But we have to think bigger and broader. We just can't think for the now. We have to think how we're going to capture and keep those those consumers well past tomorrow. And we have to always be thinking about how to grow our business. When I look around at some businesses in our community, and if I've actually gone in and shopped with them, a lot of them are the exact same as they were 30 years ago. That's just not acceptable in this world. You have to grow with the world the way it's growing. And no longer can we afford just to do business within our neighborhoods. We have to start thinking on a global platform. We have to think about creating businesses and products and services that we can sell online in a digital platform. That's how money's being made today. Money's being made online. If you look at an Amazon, who I want to say is 10, 11 years old. I'll have to look that up, but I think they're 10, 11 years old, and they're a $1 billion company. They started their business just like everybody else. Everybody starts the same way. You start with an idea. You start with a vision. You start with a mission. And then you move through the processes to make that business exactly the way you envisioned it to look. And then after that, you acquire the funding and you create the business. And sometimes they don't acquire funding. Sometimes they create the business. They're just very innovative, and it all kind of comes together. So that's some of the things that we need to look at. So we're going to take another quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about creating a digital platform for your business. All right, see you in a little bit. This is Crystal with the Business Zone.
Small businesses spend more than $500 million each year combined trying to find missing or replace missing paperwork. Hey, small businesses, are you tired of losing out on business opportunities because your paperwork is not in order? And don't you hate having to register in multiple websites just to find a single procurement opportunity that may not even be worth your time? Well, worry no more. Small Biz Pro is the solution to your problems. Small Biz Pro is an all-in-one cloud-based business management, compliance, and procurement assistance software platform that keeps small businesses organized, contract-ready, bank loan-ready, with quick access to procurement opportunities, as well as market research data. Here are some of the features and benefits that you receive when you use Small Biz Pro to run your business daily. Superior record keeping at your fingertips, back office management and compliance, quick access to bids and procurement opportunities in government databases. It allows you to conduct easy market research and gather industry statistics. Government certification preparedness and compliance checklists. Easy HR and general operations management functionality. Bank loan readiness preparation and cash flow management. Certified payroll and labor compliance reporting. Business dictionary with defined business terms. A cloud-based business management platform that keeps small businesses organized and ready, even nonprofits. Business documents securely stored in the cloud. Data fully encrypted and protected by triple firewall reinforcements. On-the-spot document retrieval for quick decision-making. Bank-level data security for compliance. Document expiration alerts and advanced notifications. It uses security restrictions to block out unauthorized users, and much more. Try it out today for only $5 for the first 30 days. What are you waiting for? Go to www.smallbizpro.net and register now, or your competitors will. Small Biz Pro, keeping small businesses organized, business ready, and contract ready. Subcontractors and small businesses are very good at performing their craft. But when it comes to managing their paperwork and efficiently running their business, not so much. That is why Buchanan & Associates, a multiple award-winning supplier diversity business management, technical support, coaching, and compliance firm is here to help you. Buchanan & Associates possesses core competencies in small business paperwork and government compliance, back office management and business support, business infrastructure and organizational development, light rail transportation program management, assisting small businesses in packaging and submitting their minority, woman-owned, and disadvantaged business enterprise certifications. We even match you up with contract opportunities. Buchanan & Associates has delivered more than 7,500 hours of training to subcontractors by preparing them to become business-ready, contract-ready, and bank loan-ready with the ability to quickly access key documents in seconds. Buchanan & Associates help subcontractors accurately prepare, manage, and submit certified payroll, contract compliance, and labor compliance reports to primes so that they can get paid on time without delays. If you need to meet your disadvantaged business or small business enterprise participation goals, Buchanan & Associates can help you. If you need a qualified and experienced firm to oversee your subcontractors so that you can successfully complete your projects, Buchanan & Associates can help you. We help all businesses organize and set up their company the right way so that they can formally pursue contracts. Buchanan & Associates has assisted subcontractors and primes secure more than $90 million in contract awards.
And welcome back to the Business Zone with Crystal, the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert, and I am Crystal. So glad to have you back. So guys, I hope you've been taking some notes. This is a time, again, when everybody really needs to be rethinking, planning, and we've been talking about this since January. And it's so important, but not just for your own, not for yourself, but for your families and for the legacy that you want to leave behind. The one thing that with Nipsey Hussle's death is that this man has left, and he's such a young man, but he has left a piece of himself, his wisdom, in addition to some assets for his family. But I think he also has left some very some thoughts that have provoked some changes in the people around him. I just heard just a few minutes ago that right now, as we speak, as we're on the air, and some of you may actually be out there, there's a visual going on in his honor that all the gangs have come together to establish a truth with one another and to change their mindset on destroying their communities and taking lives unnecessarily, taking someone down at such a young age and they haven't even lived a full life. When you're in your 30s, you haven't even reached the pinnacle of who and what you will be. In his case, he did have a family. He had a wife or a girlfriend wife, I believe she is, and children. But he will now not see his children grow up and go to college and his daughter get married and his son get married. His daughter and child and his son will no longer have the strong stability of having their father there, their biological father. So many factors take place when a life is lost at such a young age. So I hope you guys are taking notes here because this is important. If you're in business, you really, truly need to do business properly, and you need to do business with the sole purpose of creating wealth. And unless this is just a passion project for you, and that's cool. That's fine. Not everybody wants to live an overly abundant life. I don't know why. because that makes no sense to me. But if your purpose on this planet is just to live a small, not striving for millions and millions of dollars, that's cool too. Just as long as you're living in your passions and you're living in your truths and you're recognizing that you're on this planet with more than just yourself, and that everything that we do affects somebody else near, around, or afar. Okay? So the next thing I want to talk about is, and this is, Nipsey talked about this as well, was creating a chain. In the business world, that's called a virtually integrated business model. So let me give you the definition of what that is. A virtually integrated business model means that you consolidate multiple steps in the typical distribution process, and instead of operating solely as a manufacturer, distributor, or retailer, a virtual integrated company performs tasks commonly carried out by the suppliers or the trade buyers. Virtually integration has several pros and cons relative to specializing in your one business function. So let's take, for example, and I think this is the best one to use as an example, is the cannabis industry that is just creating massive wealth, changing the socioeconomic status and thought processes of cannabis. But when you're thinking of the cannabis business, and if we're going to look at it as a virtual integrated business model, we would be looking at you being the distributor. You're farming the product, you're creating the product, the weed being the product, and from there you're able to sell the municipal product. So now you are the manufacturer, and then you have a distribution business as well, where you're distributing it to the retailers. But in addition to that, you're a retailer. So now you're creating and growing the product. You're now your own distributor and then your own retailer. So now you're not you're not moving money away from you. You're keeping it all in-house and you're using that. And then you also become somebody else's supplier. So everybody can't be a virtual integrated business model, and probably not everybody would want to be. But when you're thinking on a business, you're thinking on that level. You're thinking not just one component of it, but multiple components on it in order to keep everything in-house, so that there's less external issues that can change how you do business. So let me give you some of the benefits. So the core benefit is control. You're controlling your business. You're controlling every aspect of your business. The more activities you carry out in the manufacturing and distribution process, the more control you have over the entire flow of goods until they reach your end consumer, your end customer. You also benefit from low cost, because now you're not having to find other vendors to supply your product for you, which then changes how you sell your product. You now are the manufacturer, your distributor, so that keeps your costs lower, and that means you have a larger profit margin. If you make the goods, you only pay for the cost of manufacturing the goods. You're not paying for any overrides or profit that is going to somebody else. When you're a wholesaler or a retailer and you acquire goods from a manufacturer, the markup is all included in the price. So you really are only dealing with the raw price, and then when you're selling it, you're doing the markup, but you get the whole package, right? So that's one of the things. Now, the concerns. So there are some concerns. There's always pros and cons. But then as a business owner, you are the one that have still control over that. So as a role of a manufacturer, a wholesaler, or a retailer, a manufacturer wanting to distribute goods directly to customers must not only have production strength, but the ability to market and efficiently distribute your goods. And additionally, expanding in virtual integration can have significant upfront costs. So if you're going to grow, we're still using cannabis as our example. If we're going to grow the seeds, you have to be able to purchase the seeds. You have to have land in order to grow the seeds on. You have to have irrigation systems in order to water the seeds. You also I believe have to have some specific lighting. So there are some initial upfront costs that you have to have, significant upfront costs that you have to have in order for it to be beneficial and be able to produce and provide a very quality product. Because again, you're not going to be the only one you're distributing to. You're going to be distributing out to other, you're going to be a supplier for other vendors as well. So, but that's how we need to think about business. So when we look at all of our businesses, we need to see, especially if we have product. So if I had a t-shirt company, I don't want to go buy my t-shirts from somewhere else. I need to be the one that's creating and manufacturing the t-shirts, and then have the distribution center to distribute those out to the stores. So you want to be the manufacturer, you want to be the distributor, and then you want to be able to reach your end customer. But in this case, your end customer is really other companies. So now you're no longer doing transactional business. And Gilbert and I talk about this all the time, is getting out of that space where you're doing transactional business. You want to do contractual business. So people are buying from you as the wholesaler in bulk, and then you're providing large orders. But again, that's the upfront cost, because you have to be able to supply them on demand. So initially that could be a little concerning, but again, if we think about that, and if you're going to get an investor for your business, and if you're looking at the whole process, then you're more likely will attract an investor who sees that you can create a business. You're going to be the manufacturer and the distributor, and the retailer. They're more likely to invest in you on that level than you're just being the retailer, and then you still have to negotiate with vendors in order to keep the costs down in order for you to make a profit. Does that make sense to you guys? So that's what we talk about. And that's what he's talking about when he's saying break the chain. And you can do that in any business. You just have to give it some thought, and you have to understand how the industry that you're working in, how it really works, and where those opportunities and those entry points are for you, and also understanding what the barriers are. And maybe it's a partnership. Maybe it's not just you by yourself. Maybe you're finding someone that complements you, and you guys can come together. You still are working together. They're manufacturing. Maybe you're the distributor, and then both of you the retailer. So I don't know. It's not rocket science. It's just thinking about business differently, not just as I'm selling T-shirts, which I go get downtown from the wholesaler, and then I put the silk screening on it, and then I sell it. No, how do I become the manufacturer of the T-shirts, distribute the T-shirts, still put the graphics on it if that's what you want, but then sell that? You're the retailer that's selling on a wholesale basis to other companies. Okay? So that's something that I felt that was necessary. And I also heard that this weekend from, I was listening to Dr. Claude Anderson. I don't know if you guys know who he is. He has written a book called Powernomics, and I'll put that information in the details of this video later on today. Phenomenal book. You really need to read the book. Dr. Anderson gives us a 7-point principle, a plan to change how we as Black people are operating our businesses and how to acquire wealth, how to provide our own capital. He also talks about ownership of real estate. And he, in addition to all of that, he's been a big fighter for reparations, which is a different show, actually, but a very important show. So let's talk about how people know that you're in business. So I don't know if you guys realize, but or know this, but I've been doing a series of digital marketing classes, helping our community create multiple streams of revenue, multiple revenue streams. And so I have some reasons behind why I feel this will work in our community. One thing that I see as a major deterrent for us as as business owners, Black business owners, is that we never market our businesses. We just assume that we have this phenomenal product and this phenomenal service, and that just by osmosis, everybody will know. We don't ever have to have a flyer or a brochure. We don't ever have to send it to anyone. We don't have to tell anyone about our business. We are the best kept secret on the planet, and we think we're going to make money that way. Usually what happens, I'm so excited when new businesses are launched, and I go over and I welcome them to the community. I invite them to advertise in the resource guide here. And they're like, oh, yeah, well, yeah, I'll get around to it. And they never do. And about 6 months to a year, I go back and those businesses are gone. So let's evaluate that. If I have a brick and mortar and I go through all the necessary changes and the processes in order to open up a store, or say I'm a bakery, I buy all the ingredients, all the raw ingredients. I buy the equipment. I pay rent, which includes usually triple net, which is in your insurance and a whole bunch of other stuff that go along with that. I literally spend $50,000, $60,000, $100,000, which I probably have taken it for my 401k. I possibly could have borrowed it from friends and family. I open up my doors. But in that, I didn't include a marketing budget at all. But because someone told me that I made the best pies or the best cakes or the best cupcakes, that I was going to be in business. But I didn't spend not one dime on anything that resembled marketing. So, and I've invested time. So if I take my time, because generally as an entrepreneur, I know for me, I work probably 12 to 15 hours a day. And depending on your hourly rate or your value of what you're offering, that could be significant. So literally you could have invested with time, supplies, materials, equipment, rent, leasehold improvements. You could have literally spent a couple $100,000 to open your business, and 6 months later you are out of business. And it only would have really taken 15% of whatever money you're making to advertise. Something as simple as this is like a $200 ad that would not have broke you. A ad on Facebook, which costs pennies a day, would not break you. But we don't advertise. We don't have So many people don't have social media. Social media is not going anywhere. I think today I saw that Google was celebrating, let's see how long Facebook has been around, but Google is celebrating its 15th year with the internet. So it's not going anywhere. It's actually getting better. Every single day is growing. So for us to keep saying, I don't want to, I don't understand social media, so therefore I don't want to be on social media, and you have a business, that's probably that's probably the worst decision you have ever made and will have ever make, because that is where people find you. They're finding you on social media. They're finding you on Facebook. They're finding you on Instagram. They're finding you on LinkedIn, Snapchat, Pinterest, any of those platforms that are out there. These are multi-million-dollar platforms who basically, a lot of them are trading publicly. They're not going anywhere. You, on the other hand, could be gone in 6 months. So we really need to stop the resistance to having effective promotional strategies and if you don't know how to do it, Google it. Or there are a lot of us out here that do that training. And if you need that training, reach out to us and ask us. We can help you with that. The other area I find that we lack is networking. We stay in our businesses. We never come from behind the counter. And I get it. You know, you may feel that you're the boss and nobody else can do anything better than you. But if you, the owner, the person that established this business, the person that is passionate about this business, the person that knows the ins and the outs of the business, never come from behind the counter and interact with your customers or your potential customers, you will die on the vine. I go out, I schedule times. And it's strategic. You can't go to everything. You can't be in everything. But where you find, where you will find your customer base, your target market, the people that love and want to purchase your products, you need to be there. You need to be there at least once a month. It's important for you to go out. Go to Recycle Black Dollars. We meet once a month, every second Tuesday of every month at Denny's on Crenshaw. Come to one of our meetings. Go to any of the chamber meetings. There's GLAC, Greater Los Angeles. Hey, yes, Melanie, networking is vital. GLAC, the Greater Los Angeles African American Chamber of Commerce. You have the South Bay Chamber of Commerce. You have the Crenshaw Chamber of Commerce. Go to any, and then if you go to the South Bay areas, Torrance, Carson, all of them have chambers. Go to their meetings at least once a month. Every quarter, plan a networking event that you go to introduce yourself and to exchange your marketing material. Now, what does that look like? So you need to have flyers. You need to have not so much brochures anymore, but you need to have a website. You need to have a digital presence. Your website should definitely have who you are, what you stand for, your value proposition, your pictures of your product in a appeasing way that people get what you do. It should have a phone number. It should have an email. It should have virtually a way that they can contact you. It should also have your social media icon links to your social media. Okay? You should have postcards. You should have some way that, and business cards, your business card, and I'm going to say this, and it sounds idiotic, but it's so important. Your business card should have a phone number. If you have a service-based business, it might need to have your cell phone number. It also needs to have, hey, Marvin, how are you? It also needs to have an email address. They need to know how to contact you. And it should have links to the social media platform that you spend your most time on. Okay? Do not go out. I cannot tell you when I go out and I get business cards and I come back home and I go to put them in my email list so I can send out it was a pleasure to meet you. And how can we help each other? When I go to do that and I have no email address, that is just crazy. So now your email is really useless to me. So I could use your phone number, but then for a business person that uses time management skills, then that means that I'll get on the phone And initially, I'm still getting to know you. So now I'm going to spend a lot of time trying to do that. Whereas if I first do a couple of emails, then time management wise, that works best for me. And it actually works best for you, because unfortunately, sometimes talking on the phone takes much longer than just a quick little note after I met you. Then after you've responded, then I possibly will call you, and definitely after the second or third time that I've met you. So make sure there is a phone number. Oh, and landing pages. That's coming from Melanie, Denise Perry. Landing pages are important as well. So if you don't have a full website, at least have a landing page with that pertinent information. So they'll need to know what you're doing. So it needs to state that, and it needs to have contact information. Okay. So that's where we are on that. The next thing that's important is a marketing program, either a Constant Contact or MailChimp or some product out there that you have an ability to reach out to people in a bulk. So that you're not doing it. A lot of the private emails, your Googles, your Yahoos, your Outlooks, they only allow so many bulk, I guess they're e-blasts. And the other thing that's really, really great about an email system is if I'm sending you a flyer, you don't have to go through an extra step to open up that flyer. Then you can just click onto it. You can and click onto it and have to open up a PDF or another a JPEG. It actually opens up in your email. You can have an amazing title that will grab my attention, and I will open it. That is the effective way to strategy in order to reach the people that are on your mailing list. Other than that, your mailing list is just there, right? So. And then you should be sending out these e-blasts at least once or twice a month, either a newsletter type environment or a flyer for events that's coming up, which also should be able to be distributed to your social media. Okay. The other thing is important. And I don't know about maybe Melanie, you can have input on this. A lot of my business comes from word of mouth. People know who I am. I make sure people know what I do. And when I first started my business, 85% of my business was word of mouth. And then after the recession, it kind of slowed up. And then I built it back up to that place. So now a lot of people hear about me before they even meet me. And that's a good thing. When you're doing you're branding yourself so well that people know you because they've heard about you through some friends of theirs, and those people have co-signed and said and already provided a testimony for the type of services or type of businesses you do. You can't get a better recommendation than a word of mouth. But that means you need to be doing quality business. You need to have great customer service skills, great communication skills, and your product. You have to stand by your product. You have to guarantee your product, because that's how word of mouth works. You have to be doing class act because bad reviews won't get you new clients. They might get you new followers on social media, but they're not going to get you new clients that are going to pay you, which is how you pay your bills and how you increase your profit, your bottom line, your profit margins. Okay. So the other thing is press releases. Also, in some cases, some industries, they pay for referrals. In my world, I call that affiliate partners. So if you send me a great referral, we sometimes have an established referral fee. Blogs. Now that's my new baby right now, is creating blogs that will create multiple streams of income. But in addition to that, it also is marketing your knowledge and expertise in the area of which you do business, right? So ultimately is marketing you. It's marketing your brand. But you have to be consistent with blogging. You can't do a blog once a month. You can't do a blog every 6 months, because you need to establish a calendar where you're saying every 2 times a week, 3 times a week, I'm going to write a blog on a topic that's important to what I feel my readers will read, and you need to blast that out and make sure that's available and through email, through your social media, and as well as you can add it to your newsletter. Your newsletter can go out once a month, but your blog, you need to be consistently sending out new blogs because it's driving the traffic, and it's also can drive the traffic to your website, and it drive the traffic to your product, so that your ultimate goal with all of this is to increase your subscribers and followers, and hopefully converting that into clients and customers, paying clients and customers. Okay, so we're going to take another quick break, and then I'm going to go through the rest of the promotional strategies, and then we're going to talk about my most favorite is mastering your financials, and then, wow, the show will be over. So see you in a moment.
Subcontractors and small businesses are very good at performing their craft, but when it comes to managing their paperwork and efficiently running their business, not so much. That is why Buchanan & Associates, a multiple award-winning supplier diversity business management, technical support, coaching, and compliance firm is here to help you. Buchanan & Associates possesses core competencies in small business paperwork and government compliance, back office management and business support, business infrastructure and organizational development, light rail transportation program management, assisting small businesses in packaging and submitting their minority, woman-owned, and disadvantaged business enterprise certifications. We even match you up with contract opportunities. Buchanan & Associates has delivered more than 7,500 hours of training to subcontractors by preparing them to become business-ready, contract-ready, and bank loan-ready with the ability to quickly access key documents in seconds. Buchanan & Associates helps subcontractors accurately prepare, manage, and submit certified payroll, contract compliance, and labor compliance reports to primes so that they can get paid on time without delays. If you need to meet your disadvantaged business or small business enterprise participation goals, Buchanan & Associates can help you. If you need a qualified and experienced firm to oversee your subcontractors so that you can successfully complete your projects, Buchanan & Associates can help you. We help all businesses organize and set up their company the right way so that they can formally pursue contracts. Buchanan & Associates has assisted subcontractors and primes secure more than $90 million in contract awards. What are you waiting for? Contact Buchanan & Associates today, the small business paramedic. Go to www.thebuchanangroup.net and begin saving now.
Okay, and we're back. You are tuned into the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert, and our guest host, Don Strozier. Both of them are out today, and so I'm holding down the fort. Hopefully, I'm giving you a lot of information. I don't normally like to do the one-on-one thing unless I'm doing webinars or teaching a class or teaching an online class, but this is okay. Hopefully, you guys are getting something from this. The other thing, so we're going to just finish up on the promotional strategies. Couple other things that's really important, and another phenomenal way to market and create your brand is podcasting, which is exactly what this is. It's a way to reach your clients or your potential clients in a more personal way. They also can see the knowledge that you have, and they can see your value proposition because you're on weekly. In our case, we're on weekly. Some people are on 4 or 5 times a week. But what it does do, it really establishes your brand. The podcast, the Business Zone, is created so that we can help our community be business ready, bank loan ready and contract ready, because that's really, really important for growth and sustainability with your business. And so we're here every Friday afternoon from 3 to 5. And hopefully if you've been tuning in and you're a regular a regular person in our audience, then you'll find that somewhere there's these phenomenal nuggets that's either provided to you from one of Gilbert or myself or Don, and our guests are awesome with information about themselves. So we're always looking for guests. If you're interested in being a guest on the Business Zone, please contact us at the Business Zone with CrystalandGilbert.com. Also, you can reach out to us on our Facebook page, our Instagram page. We are very active in both of those places, LinkedIn, Twitter, however you want to reach us. And if you can't reach us there, if you can't remember the Business Zone, then remember Crystal. I'm Crystal Mitchell on my page, and Gilbert Buchanan on his page, and Don Strozier. So you will not have a problem finding us, okay? So podcasting. We will be on the air 3 years in July, and this is one of the best decisions that I think that I've had far as a marketing tool and it continuing to establish our brand. And it has really been very beneficial for all of us. And so I recommend to you, if you are, whatever industry you're in, you have more knowledge than the people that that are typically your customers. And this is a great medium in order to meet them on a regular basis and really get the information out. So when you go to sell them something, they already know who you are. And it makes it that much easier for you to increase your revenue if that's what you want to do. Or you can just use it as marketing, or you can just use it as almost like a celebrity tool, because it does that for you as well. People see you that way because they see you on YouTube or Facebook or whatever your distribution channel is. And so it's really pretty cool. Events. As I said, networking is really, really important. So going to events, even hosting your own events, because again, that puts you in a place of dominance, right? Or a place of expertise, of being the expertise in your particular industry. Workshops, that's teaching other people what you do. So that's phenomenal. That's fantastic. Webinars, that's my next platform. So think about that. So when you're consistent with all of those promotional strategies, basically what you're doing is creating a compelling brand that can help you as a small business owner. If you're brand new, you really, truly have to have that brand. People have to feel like they can trust you. For you to be more competitive, you need to have a brand that people can recognize. You know, McDonald's, I don't care what country you go in, you know the McDonald's, the Golden Arches, and you know exactly what they stand for. They established a brand very early on, and they've been in most of our lives, all our lives, but no one has to explain to you what McDonald's does. They may have to explain to you what business McDonald's is in, but you know for sure what their products and services are. Okay? So think about that in your business. Again, if you've taken the time, the energy, and the resources to start a business, at least think about the marketing piece of it, because that piece is directly related to the sales in your business. If there is no marketing strategies or outlets, then I can pretty much guarantee that your resources are going to be, and your income is going to be very minimal. You're going to work extremely hard for that because people it takes at least 7 times for them to see consistent information from you in order for them to pull the trigger and open up the wallet and actually pay you money. Okay? So, hey, April, how are you? So here's my favorite topic, and this is really the core of my business. That is accounting, understanding and creating your financial structure of your business. Businesses are in business to make money. A good friend of mine told me that. If you're in business, your sole purpose is to make money. And when you make that money, you have to be able to manage that money. And you need to master how you make money, how your money comes into you, and how your money goes out to you. Okay? So most small business owners struggle with understanding the financial aspect of their business. It's all really very willy-nilly. I'm currently doing a QuickBooks class. I teach that program. I've been working with that software for 30 years. And when it comes to, they think that they only need their profit and loss statements for tax purposes or financial statements for tax purposes. Your financial statements are so much more than providing them for your tax man. It helps your tax man. He will love you that much more if you come to him with a financial statement as opposed to a box of receipts. But that's not why you have financial statements. Financial statements help you understand how your money flows, how it flows in and how it flows out of your business. It provides you with historical data. It helps you estimate and project costs for your future, for how you start your business. You're estimating your startup costs, and then it also helps you with the value of your assets, which gives you the collateral that you need when you go to acquire for bank loans and so forth. The other thing it helps you maintain your inventory so that you are not overspending or underspending. It helps you keep the value and understand the depreciation of your equipment and your furniture. And most of all, it helps you track all the income and all the cash that's readily available in your business for purchasing new products, for marketing and advertising and paying payroll. It allows you to do all that. Then it helps you track your liabilities. This is basically how much you owe, so that you understand your cash flow of your business, and you also can determine whether you have too much debt or you have room to acquire more debt. It gives you that information. Basically, it helps you monitor how much money is coming in and when it comes into your business. Is a real formula to understand when you're invoicing to make sure you have enough money for payroll, the phone bill, the rent, any advertisement or any services or anything or outside services that you need. You have to understand that. And the only way you can do that is tracking that information in a program, preferably an accounting program. But if you don't have that, at least tracking it with an Excel spreadsheet. But Excel spreadsheet should only be used when you are a startup business and you are still learning so many other things that you don't have time to learn how to use your accounting software. But once you've been in business, once you start invoicing, once you start receiving money coming in, you really truly need to either use, there's so many software programs out there. You have QuickBooks Desktop, QuickBooks Online, you have Xero, you have Fresh Start or something of that nature. There's just tons. There's over 26 different products that you can use. You also have them as mobile apps on your phone. So there should be no excuse that someone is not using some sort of software in order to track your money. That's really, truly doing business the right way. And if you're interested in it, I periodically host classes on how to use QuickBooks. I'm getting ready to become my plan is to become a certified Xero provider, instructor, or actually user for Xero, which is a software, an online software platform. I've been using QuickBooks for 30 years, so I know that product inside and out. I currently have a class going on right now. Next week is our last class. I probably will have another one in the fall that will be live, but I am going to be doing an online class in QuickBooks. So if you're interested in that, reach out to me and I can help you. But you should not be doing business at all if you have no accounting software that's helping you maintain and master and understanding the financial component of your business, okay? Because it also will allow you to know and monitor your key ratios, which is determines the health of your business, right? It helps you know if your business is in a good place or your business needs a checkup. It helps you realize when it possibly is time to close your business. So not everything is here for the eternity. Sometimes if you're just barely hanging on by a thread, your clients have changed drastically, or you've lost clients drastically. You don't have another product or service that you can replace a product or service that needs to be shelved. You can't figure out, and you may just not even love this business anymore. If you started something 20, 30 years ago and you're doing the same business, I probably can make an educated guess that you don't even like doing what you're doing. So at that point, you might need to cut your losses. And if it's not making you what the industry dictates that business can make, then you might want to rethink it. You might want to say, you know what? I think I need a time for a change. Maybe it's time for a second act. Maybe I'll close this business. Maybe I'll sell this business. That's really the best way if it's in a position where you can sell it. And it's time to move on and try something new, do something new, retire from it. But no need to just hang on and worry day after day because you have no employees. You're the only one there and you don't have a large roster of customers or clients, and you're basically paying yourself a nominal fee and paying rent and utilities, and that's the only reason you have your doors open. That doesn't even make sense. That's not a great investment for you. So maybe it's time to take some stock into why you're doing what you're doing. And if the same passion and desire and the exuberance is not there when you start, that was there when you started this business, maybe it's time to rethink it. You know, sometimes that happens, and that's okay. That's okay. That's not failing. That's just making a calculated, strategic decision that it's time for me to move on and try something different. That's all that is. That does not, if you've been in business for 20, 30 years, you didn't fail. It's just time to make a change. Okay? So, with all of that being said, sometimes there are businesses that they're ready to grow and move to the next level. And a lot of times, and that's the growth and stability, that's taking your business and saying, okay, I've reached some goals, some milestones. I'm doing fantastic. Hey, Michelle. And now I might want to look at doing some different things. So it might be time to restructure your pricing, raise the pricing. How many of you are still doing your product is still priced the same as it was 5 years ago? Your expenses are not the same. I can guarantee that. So maybe it's time to restructure, but that takes some strategic planning. You have to make sure you understand what your customers are willing to pay. Maybe it's time to rethink whether or not the customers that you've been supplying for, a number of years are no longer your customers, and it's time to branch out to some new and acquire some new and attract some new people that could increase your profit margin. The other thing is, one of the way you can do that is creating, diversify your product offerings. Maybe, like in my case, time-wise, live events or live classes are not as efficient, and they don't really bring me the volume that they used to, because a lot of people, their schedules are so, they have such busy schedules that sometimes it's not easy to get to an evening class or daytime class. So I'm thinking of diversifying and changing how I actually offer my product. And so one of those ways is online, because I can reach a broader market. I don't have to just reach people in Los Angeles. I can reach people all over the state of California and the United States. And in some cases, depending on what I'm offering, probably another internationally. So that's my next move, is to change how I'm providing my services and my classes. There will be some classes that I will continue to do online, because I just think it works better online. I mean, I do it live because I just like that interaction from time to time. But there's quite a few of my classes that will be available in a webinar platform, and that way I can sell more and I can reach a broader market, a mass marketplace. Something else you need to look at is maybe creating packages that could incorporate your slower selling products with your fast growing or fast selling products. So being creative there, offering something that's attractive to different demographics. Right now, your millennials and our Gen X's and Gen Z's are, they're starting to make money. The millennials are already making money. And so maybe you need to look at how you, learn to speak to them so they'll be interested. And so that means you might need to network in that environment. You might need to do a lot of research to see what they like and why they like what they like. What's the their age groups that you need to target, their psychographics on why they buy and why they'll buy from you. So think about that. Think about revisiting who you're selling to. And then after that, how do you retain customers? None of us want a one-time customer. We really don't want transactional business at all. But if we do, we want people that keep coming back to us on a regular basis. If I'm a hairstylist, you want return business. New business is wonderful, but return business is for longevity. So again, making sure that you have quality quality customer experience. Implementing loyalty cards, marketing complimentary products or services, having drawings or contests or things that will excite and entice your clients to want to stay, or your customers to want to stay with you. Making sure that your business is repeatable, meaning that you have across the board practices and systems that even if you got sick, your business and you have employees and they've been trained properly, that your business will continue on whether you're in that building or not. You never want to, when you've been in business past 4 or 5 years, and especially as brick and mortar, you don't want to be the one still wearing all the hats. You really truly want to be in a position to hire employees that are dedicated and well trained and that can operate when you're not there, and at the same time nothing changes. Your income continues on, your store or restaurant or whatever it is you have. You can go on vacation. You can go seek out more business for yourself, for the business or for the company, and not have to worry about whether or not the store is burnt down by the time you get back because you didn't have a system. You didn't have a way to create more productivity in your business. Okay, and the most important thing is establishing reoccurring streams of income that nothing is dependent on the other. So for some businesses, creating subscriptions and memberships and contests and multiple services. So it's not just one product that if all your customers stop coming tomorrow, you have other things to bring them back. Multiple streams of income is really cool. And then being able to reinvest into other products that as well will create those multiple streams of income. So I hope this information was really valuable to you. And this video will be on YouTube, and you can always go back and take some notes. I'm going to put some of the information in the description box, and I probably will do a blog on this topic, on this topic in the next couple of weeks, so that you can go back. There's also a list of resources out there for you. If Gilbert was here, he would have gone through the process of telling you about supplier diversity opportunities and procurement opportunities, but he will be back next week, and we'll have him do that for you. But those are just basically the things that my business when I'm coaching my clients, those are pretty much the kind of clients I have. They're small business owners that are in the restaurant business or product or service business. They're writers. They're other coaches. They're providing some service, and so I was kind of giving you the information that I give to them. So. All righty. So I hope that will be useful for you. Go back, like I said, go back and listen to the video on YouTube and make some notes and look at making some changes in your business if it requires. If you're not making the money that you feel that you should be making, give me a call. You can reach me at 323-906-7004, and we can talk about establishing those funnels so that you can establish how much you want to make, and then we can figure out what you need to do in order to make it, okay? So we got about 15 more minutes, so let me talk about some things that are coming up. Some great events that are going to be coming up that you should all go to, because this is part of that networking piece. It takes some business cards and some flyers and some stuff that you're doing and meet some great people out there that are pretty awesome and could be great customers for you. So tomorrow, I will actually be at an event, the Coalition of 100 Black Women. They're doing an event called Sisternomics and Financial Literacy. Sisternomics I think they've been around for probably about 40 or 50 years. They're having an event tomorrow at 9 a.m. to 2:30. It's going to be at the Doubletree by Hilton Hotel in Torrance in South Bay, which is at 21333 Hawthorne Boulevard. I believe it's a free event. They may be sold out, but I'm not sure. But you can find them on Facebook. But they're going to be talking about financial literacy. But you'll get to come out and mix and mingle and learn from experts in a variety of fields. And they're going to share their knowledge and insight and tips. An organization that I belong to, the Bella Network, we are it's a collaborative project that we're both doing. So come on out and check it out. Okay? So that is tomorrow, April 6th. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on tomorrow, so let me find some other stuff, okay? There's an event. There is so much going on. It is almost scary. So we have the coalition, the Sisternomics and Financial Literacy. Let's see what else is happening. Trying to see what else is going on. Oh, that's it tomorrow? I think there's a couple of church events going on. At least that's all I see. Recycling Black Dollars. We're having our breakfast mixer on Tuesday, which is May 9th. We have Mr. James Burke. He's going to come in and talk about, hi, John, how are you? He's going to come in and talk about Destination Crenshaw. What is the future of Crenshaw once the train has been completed? They're supposed to be beautiful. It's supposed to be a beautiful art I guess, a living art project that's going to be going on. They're going to be starting to rebuild or renovate Baldwin Hills Plaza. It's going to be an open, like a grove. I saw some renditions the other day. It's going to be really beautiful. So you might want to take a look at that. But come out to RBD Breakfast Mixer at 8 o'clock in the morning from 8 to 10 at Denny's on Crenshaw. That's 3740 Crenshaw Boulevard. No fee, but we do require you to buy breakfast, at least a minimum of $10 to support the Denny's, which is Black owned by Mr. Ron Smothers. And so we always want to make sure that we're supporting those businesses. RBD, we're very, very good about supporting our own. I do a lot of business at Denny's. Hot and Cool Cafe, which is in Lamert. Several of the stores that are up on Slauson, from Overhill to Angela Vista. Those are all Black-owned businesses there. So there's a cultural interior shop there. There's the Chicken. There's New Orleans. There's an African dress store right there. So those are some of the businesses just in the immediate area of this studio. I shop at a business, I buy my African outfits from Croquette Couture in Inglewood on Market. They are at 238. Beautiful, beautiful African wear. Makes you feel like Wakanda's in your back door. And the owners are from Segal. They're absolutely awesome. So check them out. And what else is going on? RBD, we have a mixer. We have another workshop coming up. It is our Edge series. So register for that. There's flyers out there, and there should be an event on Facebook. But we are doing our second series in our Edge workshop program, which is we're doing with Southern California Edison, and we will be defining and developing your value proposition, and that will take place on April 25th at 8:30 in the morning to, let's see, what happened to my dates? 8:30 in the morning to 12:30. It's free. There's a continental breakfast, and it's being held at U.S. Bank Community Room at 5760 Crenshaw Boulevard, Los Angeles, California. The other thing that happens every Wednesday after an evening from 5:30 to 6:30 is our Digital Entrepreneur Network classes. We're teaching you how to create multiple streams of passive income using and setting up your blog and learning how to drive traffic to the blog, which then will provide you multiple streams either through advertisement, affiliate marketing, sponsorship, membership, or your products. So if you're interested in that, reach out to me at you can give me a call at 323-906-7004 or email me at cmitchell55544@gmail.com. That is phone number is 323-906-7004, or you can email me at cmitchell544@gmail.com and put in the subject title, you're interested in learning how to create multiple streams of passive income, and I'll know exactly what you need, and I'll send you over the information for the class. The class is held every Wednesday afternoon from 5:30 to 7:30 at the Los Angeles Urban League, right there at the corner of Crenshaw and Vernon. Okay? I think that might be all that I have. Let me think of anything else that I could give you guys before I sign off here today. Wow, we covered, and it just worked out perfectly, right? Nipsey's 7-point ownership and money lessons actually fell right on in to the stuff that I do every day. It's absolutely amazing to me, this young man, like I said earlier, that this young man had such wisdom. I would really love to know who his mentor was, who was teaching him. I teach kids how to be entrepreneurs, and generally they start at the age of 14. And most of the kids, when they first come in, unless their parents are actually entrepreneurs, they don't have a clue about any of this stuff. By the time they come out of the class, they do, but not normally before that time. Oh, and that's the last event I need to tell you about. Let me see if I can find it. So I've been doing teaching these kids how to become entrepreneurs, and they will be pitching their business on May 11th. Let me find it. May 11th. I want to find out where it is. Shoot. I don't know where it is, but we will have more. I'll have some more information on that, but we need you to come out, and we need you to, let me see if I can find it in my email. We need you to come out and support these kids. They're going to be competing for $5,000. And they need to have people there when they start to compete. So they're creating, as a team, teams of 3, minimum of 3. They're going to create a business that has a social enterprise piece to it. And then they're going to pitch amongst 9 other schools in the community. And so we have a team of 3. Actually, we have 2 teams, 1 team of 4 and 1 team of 3, and we're really excited. And so hopefully they will be able to share that $5,000. And there's also a second and third place prize. So next week I'll have the actual details of that. I can't find it right now, but we're kind of excited about it. Oh, here it is. It's May 11th. And where is it? And it's a youth pitch, very much like Shark Tank. And it's called the 2019 Youth Entrepreneurial Challenge. And it's going to be held May 11th from 9 a.m. to 1 o'clock. That's a Saturday. And it's going to be held at Los Angeles Tech School of Business and Civic Engagement at 400 West Washington Boulevard. So we want you to come out and support the kids. The participating schools and organizations is Crenshaw High, Augustus Hawkins High School, View Park Charter High School, Diego Riviera High School, Manual Arts High School, Brotherhood Crusade Youth Source Center, Watts WAM, I think it's Youth on the Move, Youth Source Center, the YWCA of Greater Los Angeles, the Los Angeles Urban League, that's my team, 100 Black Men of Los Angeles, and LA Trade Tech College. So those are the schools, and these kids are all competing. Their ages 14 to 22, I believe. So come on out. So I'll send you guys out. If you're interested, let me know, and I'll send you over. It's free, but we would love to have you there to support our kids who are working very hard to compete for this competition. All righty, guys. So thank you so much for putting up with me, just me this weekend, all by my little lonesome. We will next week have Gilbert and Don in the house, and we should have an exciting guest next week. Again, if you would like to get your resource guide, your Recycling Black Dollars Black Business Resource Guide, reach out to me. Really important that this month, actually every month, but this month that we support our businesses. So if you really want to know where those businesses are, this is a pretty thick little book. See there? See, almost 400 or 500 businesses in there. And your excuse would be, I don't know where the businesses are, so therefore I can't support them. That's not true. You will know. So this will be online on our website, which is rbdmedia.org. You will be able to find it there, but you can pick up your copy. They're $7, and you can come to our breakfast mixer on Tuesday and pick one up in person. If not, you can purchase it online, and then we'll make arrangements to send it over to you. Okay, so that we have going on. All right, guys, see you next week. See you.
As a small biz pro, I saw we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, I saw we grow, using procurement, program, and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman. businessman. Yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Ooh, yeah. Crystal Mitchell, do you have my business plan? Just review the pages of my marketing plan. Crystal Mitchell, do you have my business plan? Just review the pages of my marketing plan. Got my capability statement, yes, I'm ready to go. Got my balance sheet, my P&L, my statement of cash flow. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Ooh, yeah. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Ooh, yeah. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur.